In this final video of our chapter, we're going back to a little bit easier stuff. We're going to talk about the areas of circles and the area of circle sectors. Area of circle is something you probably have done before. Area of sector might seem a little scary. We're going to have a formula, but really what we're going to do isn't that bad. So let's get started. The area of a circle is pi times the square of the radius. In other words, its area equals pi r squared. And I don't know why I typed it twice. So if it's typed out twice on your notes, cross it out the second time. Again, the formula is just area equals pi r squared. Pi is a number. It's an irrational number, which irrational simply means it's a nasty decimal that's going to repeat forever. You cannot turn pi into a fraction. Also, someone might have told you a long time ago that you can round pi to 3.14. While that's true, we are not going to do that in this class. Always hit the pi key, no matter what. Alright, so we want to find the area of the circle. The only thing you need to know to find the area of the circle is the radius. Obviously, the radius is 8. So as soon as I know that r equals 8, I'm ready to use my formula. Area equals pi r squared. I'm going to plug in what I know now. So the area equals pi times 8 squared. So cleaning it up as much as I can, I have pi, or I have 64 pi. So technically you're done. You could say, hey, area equals 64 pi. And honestly, this is the best answer because, again, pi is a decimal that goes on forever. So if you round here, you're not getting as exact as you could be. But I'm okay if you round, so let's actually type this in our calculator and round a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is type 64 pi in my calculator and figure out what that decimal should be. I'm going to go to my main screen to do this. So 64 pi. To get to the pi key, it's just the yellow button and then the power button, which is right underneath clear. And I get 201.0619298, blah, 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 blah. And it goes on forever because pi is an irrational number. I want to round to 2 decimal places. Obviously, the more decimal places you include, the better, the more accurate you're going to be. So this is approximately, the area is approximately 201.06. Okay, so I would take either answer, but this is the best answer. Let's find the area of a sector. The area of a sector of a circle is a region bounded by 2 radii of a circle and their intersected arcs. So here, I have 2 sectors. I have a sector in pink and a sector in blue. Okay, so it's kind of like, think about sectors of circles as pieces of pie, okay, at Thanksgiving. When we're finding the area of a sector, we're figuring out how big of a piece of pie are we getting. That's really what we're doing. To do that, we have area equals pi r squared, just like a circle, but then times the measure of the arc divided by 360. So we want to find in example 33, our last example of the chapter, we want to find the area of the 2 sectors that are formed by angle APB. Let's do the pink or red sector first. First off, I know that this is a central angle because the vertex is at the center of circle P. And since it's a central angle, like we saw in the previous videos, the arc AB has to be 60. Since I know that piece of information, I'm going to go ahead and find the measure of arc AQB, which is going to be 300, because I know the total circle has to be 360. So this arc has to be 300. That's going to come into play in a few minutes. For the red sector, right here, I'm going to just use my formula. Okay, I'm told that my radius is 9, so that's also important information that I'm going to use in both formulas. So for the red sector, I have area equals pi times 9 squared times the measure of the arc that I'm looking at, so in this case AB, so that's 60 degrees, divided by 360. Okay, now I'm just going to type this in my calculator exactly the way it looks. So in my calculator I have pi, parentheses 9, parentheses squared, times. Now this fraction does need to be put in parentheses. Therefore, I type in my calculator. So times parentheses 60 divided by 360. And I get 42.41 if I round. Okay, so this is an approximation. So that tells me that this piece of pie is approximately 42.41 units big. Now let's find the area of the blue piece of pie. Obviously, it should be bigger than 42 because it's a bigger sector. Okay, so I'm going to use the same formula. Area equals pi times the radius squared, radius was still 9, times the measure of the arc that's made by the sector, in this case it was 300, divided by 360, okay, because that's the total circle. And that fraction needs to be put in parentheses, so now, just like we did before, we're going to type that in our calculator. So I have pi times parentheses 9 squared times fraction 300 divided by 360. Again, that fraction needs to be in parentheses for this to work. I get 212.06 if I round. So obviously, this number is much bigger than this number, and that kind of makes sense because the blue sector is much bigger than the red sector. So all I did was plug in what I know. Obviously, you have to know the arcs to be able to use this formula. And that's it for this video and for the chapter. As always, if you got any questions, please let me know.